Since I was 5 years old, I've always been able to see what others cannot. Every whisper, every touch, every investigation. This is our evidence. This is Paranormal Coast. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, heading to the New River Inn. What's interesting about this location, not only was the family here the founders of Fort Lauderdale, but it's not without its dark side. Residents here suffered through malaria and yellow fever, and many people died here. When you arrive, sometimes those first sights of the building, you get like flashes of images. It's like the energy of the building is resonating.
Our investigation takes us to the New River Inn in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Originally built in 1905 by Nathaniel Bryan, used to be called the Bryan Hotel. Many visitors say that they see apparitions looking through the upstairs bedroom window in this historic site. Visitors to this site still report passing by and seeing the ghost of Nathaniel Bryan, still sitting at his desk, welcoming guests to his hotel. Many guests at this location report seeing the apparition of a small child playing in the upstairs hallway. And others have ran out of the building, never to return. People have seen so many different things in this place. I mean, on the third floor, which we'll go to later, they've seen the conductor, and people have come running out just on these tours because he waves to them and he says hi. And on the third floor also, you're supposed to see the apparition of the owner.
That book just flew off of the stand.
Just flew off of the stand.
Now, the interesting thing about this is these books, as you can see, are all stacked here.
Oh my
The
gosh.
spirits are willing to talk to us.
Did you see that?
Yes!
It just flew off, okay.
As we are doing our introduction, a book flies off the shelf. The spirits are letting us know they're here. As we set up our command center, we place one IR camera in the bedroom where apparitions have been reported, and one in the main hallway. We begin with an Ovilus reading in the dining room. The Ovilus takes EVP readings from the surrounding environment and converts them into words. As we approach the room, we get a sudden temperature drop on the Mel meter.
What's very interesting is that my phone will not let me take a picture.
Grace's phone suddenly stops functioning.
There's a lot of electrical interference sometimes when there are presents.
As we head to the dining room to conduct our investigation, our IR camera captures two orbs in the hallway. We have slowed down the footage so you can see both entities.
Ivy, if you're here, please let us know. You can speak to me through this box.
Temperature gauge here, checking to see if there are any drops or spikes in temperature. And we have the REM pod set up, which will sense energy fields. Is Ivy on the
Oh, is
wall?
that
Is this her
Ivy?
picture? Yeah, I think there's one over here as well, a portrait.
Thomas.
Thomas.
You said Thomas. Is Thomas someone that you know? Is Thomas someone that's in this room with us? Or are we speaking to Thomas?
Confirmed.
So we're speaking to Thomas.
Thomas, were you in the military?
Outsider.
Remember.
What do you want us to remember? You want to remember. You want to be remembered.
You want your legacy to be remembered here.
Brian.
Yes.
That's our last name.
Yes, it's
Brian.
your last name.
That's your-
Brian.
Thomas Bryan, raised.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
He was raised as Thomas. Everything.
And it used to be called the Bryan Hotel.
It was the Bryan Hotel.
So we just said Thomas Bryan and then it said everything.
And it said everything.
So that's his full name.
Thank you, Thomas.
Catherine. Who is Catherine?
We learned later that Catherine was Thomas's mother, who went by the informal name of Lucy.
Could be a grandparent.
It could be a sister. I think there were 7 children. 7.
7.
Are you kidding me?
There was 7.
7.
You
Thank
were right.
you, Thomas.
There were 7 children. Trouble? Which one was trouble?
What kind of trouble? Trouble communicating?
Us.
Family
Us.
trouble. Siblings always have trouble together. 2.
Zoo.
Oh, it was a zoo? with 7, there would be a zoo, wouldn't it? It would be a zoo.
Month.
Rail.
Rail.
As Thomas says the word rail, a strange light anomaly shoots out of the ovilus.
Relics.
Relics. There are relics here.
Lots of relics here.
Lots of relics.
The New River Inn is now a museum and contains many relics from the 1800s. Some are personal items from the family. Some believe that sometimes entities attach themselves to these items. As our investigation in the room continued, our IR camera in the hallway captured what we first thought to be an insect, until we noticed that it disappeared on the right side of the screen. Upon further investigation, we determined it to be a vapor cloud. We have slowed down the frames and magnified the anomaly so that you can clearly see it.
The window. Grace is by the window.
Grace is standing by the window.
He lived in New Smyrna
Yeah.
Beach, Florida. And his
Oh,
father was the mayor. And they had a frost.
7 again.
7 children,
7
yes.
children, yes.
And
He's
because
telling
of
the
the
story.
frost, it ruined his crops. So
Adjust.
he adjusted and he brought you, your family, here to Fort Lauderdale to start a new life. And Henry Flagler, who was building the railroad, hired your father.
Fact.
Fact.
Yes, good. And you helped your father.
I could already feel a chilling sensation radiating from the building. A great emptiness. We're in the very room that many people flee after seeing and reporting the ghost of a conductor sitting on the bed. Could this room actually hold the key to this family's past?
Oh, I thought he sat next to people.
He sits next to girls.
Oh.
So I am going to lay right on the conductor's bed, and I'm going to see
Yeah.
if he likes it. Nathan.
Nathan.
Maybe that's the conductor's name.
Nathan, are you the conductor? Do you want me to stay on your bed?
The next voice clearly tells me to get up.
Levitation.
They use a plumb bob to determine.
Oh,
Yes.
level.
He thinks you've got a plumb bob.
Yes.
It's quite possible.
That.
That's what they would use to make things level. During the investigation, Kim was holding a pendulum that the spirit referred to as a level. The pendulum acts as a transmitter and a receiver. As the pendulum moves, you gain answers and responses to questions asked. It is best suited to answer yes or no questions. In the 1800s, a level, also known as a plumb bob, was a vital survey tool in railroad construction. Could this be what the spirit is recognizing when Kim is holding the pendulum? Michael. Who's Michael? Trouble?
Michael is trouble.
Michael is trouble. Is Michael in this room?
I was just feeling something, an entity behind me. That's why I moved out of the doorway.
Is Michael in this room?
As Rick looks into the hallway, our cameras capture what appears to be an entity trying to materialize. When we first entered the room, our IR camera caught 2 orbs flying off the bed. This was confirmation that there were indeed 2 entities in the room. We learned later in our investigation that Nathan was actually the original owner, Philemon Nathan Bryan. We have yet to determine who Michael is.
Empathy.
It's nice to communicate with us, nice to have someone to communicate with, someone different to talk to than the people here.
Your soul.
Is this Nathan or Michael? Together?
Oh,
So there's two of you.
Is there anyone else here?
Afraid.
A little.
mm-hmm.
A little bit, yes. King.
Edwin King was the original contractor who built the Bryan Hotel in 1905. It was commissioned by Nathan Bryan. He later built the King Cromartie House.
That shouldn't activate.
That's a manifestation.
That's weird.
What do you say?
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
What?
Oh, you can't manifest.
What would you like Rick to do?
Science.
Science is what we're doing, yes.
Yes.
This device here senses temperature changes. What do you say?
Her.
Her.
What I'm holding, it's called an EMF.
Okay. It's an electromagnetic frequency device.
He wants me to talk to him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just needed to drink water. Okay, it's called EMF. Yes. Yes. So when monitors.
Yes, it's a
yeah,
monitor.
it monitors so that when there's energy that gets close to this, these lights will go off. Okay, what was that?
Do you know what that noise was we just heard?
Oh, was
That was
Veronica?
Veronica.
Is Veronica downstairs? Glance.
Glance.
Okay.
You want us to
Take
look?
a look. East.
East.
Which way is east? That
That way,
east.
towards the tracks is east.
Yeah.
East is the tracks, and that's where his family's really linked to.
As Grace gets a feeling and looks into the room, we can see an entity coming out of the doorway.
The lights went on in here. I felt an entity following down the hallway.
Shortly after, we can see what appears to be 3 energy vapors on the floor following Rick down the hallway. Could this be the ghost of the little girl who is reported to have been seen playing upstairs?
And I'm feeling it right now. As I walked into the room to talk to Kim, I just followed her through here and I got really emotional. I had an overwhelming feeling of emotion come over me that I felt like I had to cry. I'm getting choked up right now. There's something going on
In here?
right here. There's something going on. And this is where we saw the orbs earlier coming through the
Yes,
light.
it is.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
If you're here with us, please manifest yourself in such a way that we can notice it.
You'll see.
We had a book moved downstairs. Can you manifest yourself in such a way to let us know that you're with us? All right, I just got like a brush. I got a brushing on my arm.
You did.
I just got a brushing.
More. Here it is.
Bring the spirit box.
Yeah, bring the spirit box, please. I just got a brush. I was asking for communication, and I just got a brush. I'm going to ask you again, thank you for manifesting yourself in a way that we can understand that you're here. We've got another tool that may help us. If you can let us know by using your energy to speak to us, please give us some sign. I heard something. I don't know if you picked it up, David.
I heard it.
It sounded like a child's voice.
I heard something too.
There it is again.
Yeah.
Hello, what is your name? Are you still with us? I think we need to try another room. Whoever was here, whatever was here, may have moved from this room. It may have frightened her. It sounded like...
As we investigate the room, our hallway IR cameras capture an anomaly moving down the hallway. We believe this to be Mary J. Bryan, who we later learned passed away at age 12. Is she still playing upstairs? In our final leg of the investigation, we visit Evergreen Cemetery, the site of the Bryan family plot. We soon find that all of the names Thomas and Nathan gave us could be validated.
Okay, in our initial discussion with Thomas, he kept bringing up the name King.
He brought that name up 3 times, which was really interesting. And of course, not knowing the history, we looked up the history later, and Edwin Bird King was the original contractor in Fort Lauderdale, and Philemon contracted him to build the original Bryan Hotel.
We've also validated the name Perry, Catherine, Barbara, Elizabeth. From just within 30 feet of each other. Here's one of the mysteries solved. We were getting Nathan as a name, and it's Philemon Nathaniel Bryan. Now we know it's Nathan. He went by Nathan. Nathan. And Lucy, Catherine was one of the names he gave us, was Catherine. Lucy went by Catherine. Thank you, Thomas.
Catherine.
This is very interesting because when we were at the New River Inn, Rick happened to hear the voice of a young girl. And this tombstone here is of a young girl who died when she was only 13 years old.
As our time at the New River Inn comes to a close, we have all been touched by the past that has walked these hallways. We know now that the souls who remain here are far from satisfied and don't seem to be finished. The decades of mystery confined within these walls have manifested an energy that is undeniable, and the whispers of the past beg to be heard. Boots.
Beware. There's boots.
Oh,
There's boots.
yes,
And then it says beware.
yes.
Okay, so we are going into the room where I saw the woman sitting on the bed.
I could feel a presence during the session.